Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk. So, I'm tired. Um, so a Broadway performer wrote a letter about an experience he had during one of the performances of The King and I. He's the lead in The King and I. He talks about how the show was interrupted by a young child screaming during a particularly tense scene, a whipping scene. The child was clearly upset about it, and the mother was doing everything she could to remove the child from the theater. This child had autism, and he was outraged by the way people in the audience were treating this mother. Now, certainly, I'm not so naive to think that one coffee talk will change the way that people think, but it will, or everyone, but it will change the way some people think. I know it's possible because my way of thinking has changed. I used to be the person who would see a child with autism freaking out, screaming, flapping, whatever they were doing, and think, why would you bring your child out in public? Why would you bring your child to a Broadway show? I had zero compassion for other people. I was so consumed with Jamie that the thought of extending compassion to someone else was such an inconvenience. I literally couldn't be inconvenienced because the price I paid for my ticket meant more to me than what anybody else could have paid. And it didn't, my lack of compassion didn't stop at children with autism. I'll have you know, I was one of those broad stroke jerks. Your baby cried in a restaurant, I had no use for you. Your child acted up on an airplane, I had no use for you. Your child threw themselves on the floor in a supermarket or a toy store, you clearly were a terrible parent and couldn't get your act together. And now, not only being a parent, but having compassion for others, I am mortified at who I used to be. I spend a lot of time now observing situations around me and thinking, how can I make the situation better, not worse? Because here's what any parent doesn't need. They don't need your stares, your snickers, your comments under your breath, your whispers, your bout face turn around and walk off. What they need is eye contact. What they need is letting the brothers and sisters on the front line, other parents, look at them and go, you're doing a great job. I know it isn't easy. You're going to be fine. In this moment, this mother, trying to remove any child from a situation they don't want to be removed from is near impossible. Trying to remove an autistic child who's holding onto a railing, who's locked his entire body up, is near impossible. And I would like to address some of the comments that I saw on the internet. Why would she take him out in public? Because it isn't 1945 and we don't lock children with any types of disorders away in institutions to never see the light of day anymore. And thank God for that. That's why. Because it's her child and he deserves experiences and he deserves the fullest life she can provide for him. And because he's her son and because she loves him as much as I love Max and because she can afford to buy the ticket to take him to do things, and we, as her brothers and sisters, should not ever make her feel like she can't leave her home with her child for fear that he may have an episode. Because guess what? I have 3 children. None of them are on the spectrum, and all of them have acted up, cried, screamed, and thrown themselves on the ground in public at least once in their life. And I can guarantee that with Charlie, it may happen till she goes to college. Doesn't make me a bad mom. Every single mother, parent, is doing the best they can with what they have been given. Children are defiant. Children act out. Children on the spectrum, they feel more than other children. They feel more deeply, and what most likely happened was that this beautiful child saw somebody being whipped on stage, and it was sensory overload for him. His little heart, full of compassion for others, was too full. His cup ran over in compassion, but he didn't have the tools to express how he was feeling, so he expressed it the only way he knew how. The mother did the right thing. She tried to remove him from the situation. What I love about this performer is he wrote on his Facebook page after the performance, "We don't get to choose who the page of someone's story we come in on. We don't get to choose how to offer compassion or love. It is just our job to offer it." He said, "I'm the lead in this play, and I had no issue with her son's behavior because I knew she was trying. This was not a child just deliberately trying to disrespect a performance. This was a child with an issue and a mother trying desperately to take care of it." And he said, Broadway is made up of a group of people who are often misunderstood, who just want to act out. And he, better than anyone, can understand what that feels like, though this child didn't just want to act out. It was something completely different, but his sentiment was so important. I'm going to post the link for everybody after. My point of bringing this to your attention is that I know both sides. If you have the capacity to offer compassion in a situation, in a restaurant where a child is acting out, or a play, whatever the situation is, if you can't make somebody's day better, for God's sakes, don't make it worse. And when you feel the words coming up your throat, "Why would she take her child out in public?" I want you to remember that it is her job, like any mother, to enrich her child's life to the best of her ability, to provide him with awe and wonder, to allow him to see things in the world that without her he won't see. So when she takes her child out in public, be the light, because there are so many people out there who will be dark for her. Be the light. Be the one light for her, so that she has somebody to focus on. Something. Okay, I'm done because I can't cry. I got too much to do this morning. I love you all so much today. Be the light for somebody. Have a great day.